Hi, I'm here with Steve Dolby, who is the product marketing manager for Michelin, who's just going to give us a bit of background to these tyres we've been testing today. So Steve, the first thing, what is the difference between one of your cold weather tyres here, which we've got on this KN here, and then one of your traditional, what we call summer tyres here on this KN here?
Right, you'll see visually there's quite a big difference between the two types of tyre. This is our cold weather tyre, which is the Michelin Latitude Alpin. You'll see it has quite wide grooves going in all directions. These help to dissipate the water or slush if it's melting snow, and also they dig into the road surface when you've got an amount of snow on the road.
Yep.
If you compare that to the summer tyre, you see a lot less of the small grooves as well. The small grooves we call sipes, and you'll see on the cold weather tyres you've got a multitude of small grooves which are called sipes. They're really for biting into the road surface when it's icy, wet, or even cold conditions.
Okay, now these are obviously on the KN, the 4x4, but is the design on your cold weather tyres the same across whether it would be on a Boxster or on a 911, so the same basic principles?
Same basic principles apply. Another key difference that we do see on cold weather tyres is that the rubber compounds are different as well, so that would apply to 4x4s and to sports cars like the 911s and Boxsters, but the compounds are designed to stay flexible at low temperatures. So whereas with a summer tyre, the tyres tend to harden off at low temperatures, so they don't quite indent into the road surface quite as much. With a cold weather tyre, the rubber compound stays supple at low temperatures, so that improves the indentation into the road surface, giving you more grip, whether it be damp conditions or icy conditions as well.
Okay, and what sort of operating temperatures would you say that your cold weather tyres are best at?
Well, traditionally we say from 7 degrees and below, but it really depends on the size of tyre we're talking about, whether we're talking about a sports tyre or a mass market tyre. But generally it's from 7 degrees and below, especially in damp conditions, and when it gets close to zero then you get quite big differences in terms of grip, whether it be like a cold frosty morning,
right,
or whether it be in snow and icy type conditions.
And would you recommend keeping these tyres on potentially all year round, so the cold weather tyres?
Our recommendation really is to have the correct tyre for the particular season in question. So we would always recommend the cold weather tyre for the winter season and the summer tyre for the summer season. Then you get an optimum grip, optimum performance in all conditions really. The disadvantage will be in terms of dry braking. This tyre wouldn't be quite as good as the sports type tyre. That's the Michelin Latitude Sport in dry conditions and in wet summer conditions.
Okay, and in terms of things like fuel economy and grip, and tyre wear, are they similar in terms of those types of performances?
Pretty similar in terms of fuel economy. Similar levels of roll resistance for the sports tyre and also for the cold weather tyre. So fuel economy won't be affected, not significantly anyway. And in terms of tyre life, again, these tyres actually tend to last very well, so they will do you for several seasons. And also when you've got your cold weather tyres on, you're obviously not using your summer tyres, so effectively you're not wasting any rubber that you would normally be using.
So just been driven up the ice hill in a Carrera 2 with Michelin's Alpin winter tyres on them. The most impressive thing was actually on the standing start. With the traction control on and off, this was able to pull itself up the hill very easily, no problems at all. And then with the slalom test, the amount of grip was incredibly impressive, a massive difference between this and the summer tyres. So especially on those winter days when you're stuck at the bottom of a hill, even with the traction control off in one of these, the grip is very impressive. Right, so interesting comparison here. Got two Panamera diesels here, one with winter tyres with new Michelin Alpin A4s on them, and one here standard Michelin summer tyres on. Taken these on the kick plate, and what was very interesting with the winter tyres on this one, when the kick plate kicked in, the completely controllable, even with the PSM off, able to catch it. It was actually, to be honest, with the PSM off, it straightened itself up, it was no problem at all. But the biggest difference, as you come to expect, was the braking distance. With the summer tyres on this Panamera braking at the same point on the same surface in the same car, it was actually impossible to stop this by the end of the ice sheet here. It actually went off the road, and then with the ABS on, it still wouldn't stop. With PSM on, it wouldn't actually stop before we hit the grippy tarmac at the end of the straight. Whereas on this, same speed, same tarmac, but with the winter tyres on, it actually stopped in just under 20 metres, which again, an amazing comparison. Two cars, same tyre, same specifications, on the same service, same driver, same speed. This one actually stopped in 20 metres. This one, it was pretty much impossible to stop.